evening, YouTubers, haunted treasures, haunted tents, and everyone out at sea. Getting started on another vlog. This is another LED project for West Coast. Before I get started on it, I need to give some props to Stilt Studios and Allen Hopps. Back in 2012, Allen released a vlog on how to make LED spotlights, and at the time I was in the process of trying to convert my haunt over into LED lighting, for low voltage. I liked his idea. Now, stuff he puts up on Stilt Studio is free for home haunters to use, and I pretty much at that time, for the most part, copied. What he did was take a tomato stake, and these are a metal rod with a vinyl coating on them. You get down at any place that has a lawn and garden store. You take them and you cut them down into about 3 inch, it's about 3 to 4 inch long tube, hollow, and that's going to be the housing for your spotlight. And then Allen went and took a pre-wired LED, put it in there, and then you can use them as a spot. Now, when I did my haunt, when I made them up for my haunt, I, for the most part, copied them. I took the tomato stake idea. I like that. And I did, instead of going pre-wired, and they run around 49 cents each, and for the amount I was doing, it would have cost me an arm and a leg, I went through eBay, got LEDs, got resistors. I soldered up my own LEDs, with wire leads. And then I went back to his plan and inserted them into the tube. Okay. Now, up to that point, that's pretty much, copying Allen's little tutorial. Past that, he didn't go any further. Me, I went and took, get this out here, some wire. And we'll go over on the table where you can see it a little bit better. Took some wire and then attached it to the tube with some duct tape. That way you had a mounting bracket. You put a screw in, you attach it to a wall with a screw here, and then you can bend it, shape it, point it in any direction you want. But the electrical tape I use, while it's good enough for my haunt, not good enough for selling. It looks crappy. So I've been thinking, I've got a different way of attaching the wire to make it look a little bit neater, a little bit more professional, and how to attach the LED inside the tube, which is different from Allen's. So I'm basically running with Allen's basic premise for his LED lights. I'm adding my own changes to it, and I'm hoping he won't get too upset with it, because I'm taking an idea he started with, adding my own twist to it, and then I'm going to be selling them at West Coast. But I've got a lot of people asking for spots. This is a project I'm going to get started. I don't know if I'll have it finished in time for West Coast. So, I don't know. Depends on how things go. But anyway, we're going to get started. My first job on this is I got 25 tomato stakes there. And I've got to get them marked, for the right length, like on this tube. And I got to get them all cut. So they're down to this. That's my first step. That's kind of what I'm working on now. I had some scrap left over, and I went through and I ended up getting 222 of these housings. I don't know how many I'm going to get out of these tomato stakes. They're 5 foot length. But, it's relatively easy. You just lay it there. I'm using a silver Sharpie, marking it, and then using a pipe cutter, handheld pipe cutter, to cut them out. It's just a matter of sitting here, cutting them out. And I figure I'd take you along for the journey. It's not going to be as in-depth as the floodlight tutorial, but you'll see, it's going to be a normal vlog. I'll give you little clips as I get updated on it. So, but anyway, our first chore is to cut tomato stakes. And like I said, we mark them, get our length, and just take this and cut them out. I've made some progress on the LED spotlights. I haven't been vlogging very much, so I figure I better give you an update of what we've got going so far. And so far, I spent some time And I got my leads all cut out and ready to go to be attached to the LEDs once I get them put together. I've also over here got all my pieces, all the barrels cut that I needed, and I went and drilled a small hole in them to accept the wires, which are going to be used for the mounting brackets, which I've also got all cut out, ready to go, and they're bent over. And I've been working attaching the wires. LED goes in the barrel, and then you mount it with this wire. And all I did, if it will show up on camera, you can kind of see the hole there. I stuck the wire in the hole, flattened it out on the inside of the tube so it's not going to interfere with the wiring or any solder joints, and then just simply wrapped it around the barrel. Made a very secure and easy mounting method. Now, to mount these to an item, all you gotta do is just put a little loop in the wire on the bottom of it that you can put your screw through, and then you can attach it to a wall, a tree, a stake, a fence panel, whatever, and then bend it any way you want. But anyway, that's currently what I'm doing. I've got those done, I've got that done, and that one done so far, and this is all I've got left to do. Like my new do? It's kind of a skinhead, isn't it? Last time I had it clipped, you guys saw it. It was back during when I was setting up the hunt. My wife, I'll let you guys watch my wife butcher my hair. Decided not to do it this time. You don't need to see me getting my hair cuts. Been a busy morning. We got the yard mowed, we got edge, blew off the patio, blew off the driveway. Now I'm out in the shop. We're back on the LEDs, spotlights, and I got all the wires on all the barrels. I got one tub there, got another tub over there, and our next project, as you can see, I got black paint, silver paint. Time to get these things painted. Now what I'm going to do is I got some silver paint out, and that's going to go inside the barrel where the LED light goes, and then the outside of the barrel is getting a coat of black. And I'm not going to do any of the spraying with these, as small as they are. It's just easier to brush it rather than paint it, and quicker and easier, and it doesn't waste as much paint that way. Welcome to WrestleMania Sunday. Are you ready to rumble? Yeah, short day project-wise today. I'm out here in the shop. I need the camera because I wanted to show you something else that you normally don't see in vlogs. A screw-up. But I figured since I'm out here in the shop, I'll give you a little bit of a look at what I've been doing. I've been painting the barrels. This is what they look like here when after I get done getting the barrel cut and the wire on them, you know. And those I painted yesterday. There's just over 200 of them there. And that there is all I got left, which I'll get done tomorrow. There's about 160 there. But these I've been doing, I've got probably about 3 days work in them. You know, I come out here usually about noon, and I work till 6, about 6 hours a day. So, all in all, I got about a day and a half's worth of work in on them. But here's one of the finished ones. You really can't tell, but you can see the silver rim there. I went and painted silver on the inside of the barrel, actually chrome, to act as a reflector. And then the outside housing is all black. Oh, it cleans them up a little bit. But I'm going to take you downstairs. I did a mistake downstairs, and I'm going to have to get it fixed. So let's get in the house, and I'll show you what I screwed up on. I've been working in the evenings after dinner, about 3 to, from 3 to 5 hours, and actually it's been more like 5 to 6 hours in the evenings. I've been staying up late. Working on soldering up the LEDs, and I've got 200 blue LEDs soldered up. These effectively, if I had done them correctly, would be ready to go into their housing. Got them all finished up last night, went through and started testing them, got about 5 or 6 done, and I noticed the LED was really dim. And I'm thinking, what the heck's wrong with it? Did I order the wrong LED? I'm going to check. wasn't the LED. So I got to thinking, am I using the right resistor? So I went over all my charts and everything else, and the resistor I'm supposed to be using is a 470 ohm resistor, 5% resist on it, half watt. Resistor I got on there is a 470k ohm resistor, and it's not 5%, it's 1,000% resistance, and that's what was causing the LED to be weak. You know, the light on it was very weak. And I got to looking, okay, did I grab the wrong container? Did I put the wrong resistors on there? And it wasn't that. What I had done is back in December when I was ordering parts, I misordered the wrong resistor. And I didn't catch it until I had those all tested. So effectively, those are, as they are now, no good. Wrong resistor on them. I can't use them. So what I'm going to have to do, and it's going to take me an afternoon, I'm going to have to go back through, and I got one done. And you'll notice there's only one wire on it. But I've taken the resistor off. And I'm going to have to resolder the correct resistor on there and put the lead back on to finish them up. So I'm going to have a little bit of extra work on that. Running into some problems. The resistors I get, you can get 100 of them for like $1.50. Problem is, they're coming from China. And delivery date on them was like when West Coast opened, you know, the 29th of April. And it's like, you know, I need these beforehand. So I got to checking. I had to do advanced shipping on it, which cost me $16. I'll have them by the end of next week. So the resistors are actually, to buy the replacement resistors are actually going to cost me a little bit more than normal. I can't bitch, you know, because it was my fault. I should have been paying more attention when I ordered my resistor. And I normally do. Just the day, see, I ordered them right around Christmas, and we were so busy then, I wasn't double checking things, and I should have been double checking. Another problem too, with that resistor is it's the same resistor I need to do for the green LED spots. So until the new resistors come in, I can't do the green LEDs. But I did, and I double checked, and I triple checked last night. The resistors I need to do the red spots and the flickering yellow spots are correct. So with WrestleMania being today, I got a couple hours this morning to work on it, and then after WrestleMania I'll have this evening. I think I'm going to work on getting those blue LEDs cleaned up so they're ready to go as soon as I get the resistors in there. And then I can switch over and start working on the red and the yellow, and I've got the last of the barrels out there in the shop. I need to finish getting painted. You know, so I'm still going to be able to work on the project. It's just with the mess up on the resistors, I've lost probably about 3 days worth of work, which is, you know, 3 days worth of time, you know, to work on these, which is something I really can't afford to lose right now since we're getting so close to West Coast. But, you know, it's rare, you know, when you see videos, you see people going through doing the steps. You know, I do the same thing. And, you know, when you're working on a project, you screw up. You don't vlog it. You know, you just keep going on like you've never made a mistake. It's very rare, you know, for someone to come back and say, hey, I screwed up here. This is what I did. This is what's going to happen. And I figure I'll give you one of those rare things. This is what I did. This is how I'm going to have to fix it. Oh, and I did want to touch. You know, I posted a little bit last night. I was a little frustrated when I figured out what I'd done wrong. I posted up on Facebook about it. And the Northwest Honda Association, which I'm a part of, one of our sponsors is Lighthouse LEDs. They're a great company. They have great products. You can buy pre-wired LEDs, unwired LEDs, what have you, straight from them. You can even buy resistors straight from them. But I had a couple of people mention, well, you should have used pre-wired LEDs. Pre-wired LEDs run 49, roughly around 49 cents. You can get them for 39 to 49. But we're going to use the upper end, 49 cents each. I've got 800 spots I'm making up. To buy enough LEDs to do that many spots would have cost me about $400. Doing these pre-wired LEDs like this, they run, or not pre-wired, but assembling type LEDs, you know, making them from scratch, they run about 8 to 10 cents each to do. Big price difference. Grand total to do 800 of them is going to run me 80 bucks. You know, so I could have spent the 400 and got the pre-wires, they would have been, you know, and everything else, but it would have cost me a lot more money. Personally, I rather enjoy soldering up LEDs. It's not that hard, provided you pay attention to the resistors you're buying. And this is a rare thing. Normally, I don't misorder, you know, parts. You know, like I said, at the time when I ordered it, we were busy and I screwed up. And I'm paying for it now. But no, I chose to go this way with the LEDs because, one, I like soldering them up. Yeah, it adds a little bit more time, but it's also cheaper on the pocketbook. I'd much rather spend 80 bucks and then have to sit here, you know, while watching TV or something and solder the LEDs up myself versus paying $400 to $500 for it to get pre-wired. You know, which would have saved me money. You know, as soon as I got the barrels painted out, I could have been popping LEDs in. You know, and it probably would have saved me probably about 5 days, 6 days at the most. And it would have gave me time. But I would have been paying for it that way. So, but anyway, you know, if you look at, I'm paying for it now because I misordered the wrong resistors. If I had enough, you know, I would have been saving quite a bit of money. Hey, I figured I'd give you a little bit of an update. It's been a couple of days since the last one. I ran you through the goof up I did on the resistors. And they're supposed to be in tomorrow. Got lucky. They came in yesterday. So we were able not only to get the reds done, which is why I switched over to, but we got the blues all rewired and done. They work fine. So we got 200 red, 200 blues done. Another problem I was having too was with the solder. I was running low on solder again. I got the blues done and I started working on the yellows. And I got part of them done. I still got to get the resistors on these yet and to put the leads on there. But I'm down to that for solder. That was also something I ordered at the same time I did the resistors. And it's supposed to be in tomorrow as well. I got lucky. It came in today. So I got my solder. Which means I'm not going to have any downtime. I figured I was going to have 2 or 3 days downtime with everything while I was waiting for things to come, you know, in the mail. And everything came ahead of schedule. So we got that taken care of. So I'm going to use up that little bit of solder on the yellows, getting resistors on. I can switch over the whole roll and get it done. And I can just keep buzzing along. My time frame for the LEDs. I've got 200 red, 200 blue. I've got 200 yellow flickers, and I've still got 200 greens I have not even touched yet. I want to get all the LEDs to this stage right here. I've already got the barrels out in the shop. You saw that in an earlier clip. Painted and stuff. They're done. But if I can get all 4 colors to this stage, then by Sunday, I'm hoping to, starting Monday, get out there and I can start getting them assembled. Well, it's Sunday, and guess what? It's done. I've got 200 green, 200 red, 200 blue, and 200 of the flickering yellow. And about a week ago, I got the barrels done. Or actually the housing. These little things with the wires are all painted and everything. They're out in the shop. So starting tomorrow, those go out in the shop, the LEDs, and we're going to start doing some assembly work. Now we're getting down toward the end. I've got most of the LEDs put together. And I got to thinking, I forgot to vlog this part of it. it's real simple. I've got all my LEDs here, what I have left to do. They've had the resistor put on them, the leads have been put on them, and then I've used liquid electrical tape over it to insulate them. And then on the barrels, so far I've gotten the barrels cut. I've put the wire mounting wire on it, and they've been painted. Now to install them, it's really simple to do. Simply thread the LED into the bracket. And I'm using 2 steps to hold it in. And the first one, and I need a new glue stick. I should have put that in before I started filming. Yes, first step is hot glue. And it helps to have hot glue in your hot glue gun, or you're not going to get any hot glue out. But I thread the LED into the stand. And then for this end, I put a good healthy bead of hot glue in. And then just push the LED in so it sits flush inside the tube. You don't want it sticking out past the tube. And then on this end, I'm using some clear silicone caulking, and I'm filling up the rest of the tube with the caulking. And a little bit more. There we go. Now I can tell the tube's full because the hole there where the wire that I drilled in here to attach the wire, when the tube fills up, a little bit of the caulking will squeeze out there. That lets me know that the tube is full. The hot glue not only acts as a method to hold the LED into place when I'm doing the siliconing, it also acts as a cork so the silicone doesn't go all the way through the tube and will fill up. And then it's just a matter of putting them over here with the others and letting them dry. Clear silicone I'm using says 30 minutes. I like to let them dry about 24 hours. But, you know, that's all there is with this step. Well, we're down to the end of the project here. Our last thing to do is, after they're all assembled and stuff, there's a little bit of cleanup to do. Some, on the end where the LED is, there's always a little bit of that hot glue hair, cobwebbing, whatever you want to call it. And then the back ends need a little cleanup too every so often due to silicone screeching out, or squeezing out and drying. So I need to go over each barrel and double check for that and get them clean. And this one looks pretty good. Then the next step is I'm taking a silver Sharpie and I gotta mark them. These are the greens here. So what I'm doing is on the bottom of them, I'll just put on a G. That way you can tell what color they are. Blues will get a B, reds will get an R, the flickering yellow, I'll probably do an FY on the bottom of them, just to kind of mark them. And then, you know, after they've been checked, they've been cleaned, next thing to do is they need to be tested. I want to make sure each one works. So I've got a wire running to my power base, hooked up to a plaque with 2 screws through it that I use for testing this sort of stuff. And it's just basically touching the wires to it. And as you can see, the light came on. That means the LED is working. So that one is ready for packaging and ready to go. I gotta go through, I've got 200 of the green to do. I gotta do the same step with all of them. Now, for packaging, I've already gotten the blues done. And this is the way we're doing it. I took 4 of them. They're zip tied on the ends and stuff. And then I taped the end of the wires so, you know, they aren't jabbing things. Now, when we get to the convention, what we're going to do is we'll have some, well, start here with this one. We'll have some separately like this, or we'll have a 4-pack. You know, you can buy 4 blues, 4 reds, 4 greens, 4 yellows. We're not going to do a mix. It's just going to be by the color, a 4-pack. So, anyway, we'll go that way. But, anyway, that's the end of the project, really. Just got to clean them up, mark them, test them, and then package them. And with that, the project's done. I've got blues done. I'm working on the green. I still got the yellow and the reds to run through the same process. So it's going to be, see what is today? Friday? I should have them done by Sunday. And then next week we'll get going on the last project for the convention. So with that, I'm going to say stay spooky and stay toxic.